So you're like Travis, you got the big truck, calf implants, leg lifts, gold teeth. When's enough? Right? When do you just have too much?
Why does enough have to be enough? Like, I think you can actually be
Wait a minute,
appreciative.
hold on. I want everybody to know that I don't have calf implants. Obviously, I don't have gold teeth. Are you freaking blind, right? I do have a
What
big
about the
truck,
leg lifts?
and through a
wasn't sure if we were recording
surgery,
or
I do
not.
have one leg longer than the other, and I have to wear it in my left shoe.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the question. When is enough? I mean, joking on Travis, but in all seriousness, we talk about this. We're in another mastermind. We talk about this a lot. Like, is there an enough number? Is there a number where you're chasing? And I frankly hate this topic because for me, it's not really a number, right? Like, I don't gauge my life off of chasing some imaginary number. And then once I get there, I just quit. But yeah, I don't know how you guys look at it. Is there an enough number? Do you guys have an enough number in your mind?
I don't think it's about having an enough number. Like, I enjoy my life. And when I think about, what real estate has done for me in my life and my family, and the freedom I have a lot of gratitude about that. But I'm not singularly focused on just real estate and just acquiring and accumulating more and more and more just for the purpose of accumulating more. Now, I love the game. I enjoy the game, but I invest in real estate because I enjoy what real estate can do for me, and I like growth. And if I'm not growing, whether it's, spiritually, emotionally, like, I want to grow as a person. And I think that real estate or money and finances is just another way to grow and to push yourself. But I think there's this connection between, it's not one or the other. Like, I'm not after a certain number. I'm not after a certain number in cash flow, a certain number of units, a certain number of net worth, right? But at the same time, you can be grateful for where you are today. You can be thankful and have gratitude for where you are today and still want to grow, right? I think where people get challenged with this is they think when they hit that magical number, when I have $10,000 a month in passive income, when I'm worth $10 million, or when I'm worth $150 million, whatever that number is. And I've been very privileged to talk to a lot of very, very successful people. And every single one of them that has this financial goalpost, whether it's a cash flow, a net worth, a exit number from whatever they're selling, they're not any happier. In fact, if anything, they become less happy because they think like fireworks are going to go off and their life's going to be, change, and they wake up, nothing is different.
Yeah, I can agree with you 100%. I spent my entire life since I was probably 22 trying to build this business, and I had dreams of what it was going to do for me when I exited. That was always the plan. And when I did, I literally...
And you're still a loser, even after you exited.
Yeah, right. I mean, but I wasn't any happier. There's an interesting statistic. What's that? I'm reading a book. It's the 7 forms of wealth or the 10 forms of wealth. It talks about like financial wealth, relationship wealth, purpose of life. Obviously, I haven't read much of it because I hardly know the title. However, one of the interesting things that I was reading it, they interviewed people that had a level of success, whether they were worth $1 million, $10 million, whatever the case was, what their cash flow, almost like over 90% of them that didn't have sort of the understanding of what they truly wanted, they were asked, when's enough? And the number was like 5 to 7 times what they had now. If they were $1 million, they wanted to be worth $5 to $7 million. If they were worth $100 million, it was like, I want to be worth $500 million. So you're right. People always, they get there and then they're always kicking the goalpost forward. And so I think having a North Star and understanding that like, yeah, this is something I want to set my sights on, but also not being hard and fast on that. And just like enjoying the journey too. Like, if you're not enjoying the journey, what's the point? You might not ever get to that number and then you're dead. And then that sucks.
But also finding success in real estate is like finding success in anything in my mind. If you don't enjoy the actual journey, the actual like finding deals, networking, putting together the puzzle, maybe raising capital or seller financing, like if you don't enjoy that, I don't see you getting there. I don't think that you're going to get to a place because it turns into something you hate. It's a grind. It's not a great maybe fit for you. But then the fact that you enjoy it doesn't mean that you're going to reach a number and want to quit it. It's like you see a lady like gardening and you walk up to her and you're like, hey, like I've noticed you've been gardening for 3 years in a row. Like, when's enough? And she's like, well, I really like gardening. I really like planting. I like the season of it. I like the challenge of it. I like the study of it, the science of it. I like the whatever. It's like fulfilling. And I think that like a lot of people, when they get to an enough number and then they quit or they stop, they stop doing the very thing that's brought them joy. And that's the challenge of building something. And that's a problem.
Hey guys, if you like what you're hearing on the 0 to 100 podcast, come join the 0 to 100 Elite Mastermind. We have a very simple goal for you. That's replace your day job, make $120,000 a year plus in cash flow, real estate, and become a millionaire. That's it. If you like that, if that's you, click the link below and we'll see you on the 0 to 100 Elite Mastermind.
But when is enough for anything, right? Like I've had people through the years ask me the question, when is enough, right? But I was asked once by somebody that had a job for like 30, 40 years, something like that they hated. And they asked
so when's
me,
enough for that?
They asked me, when's enough? And I'm thinking, when's enough for you? Like, how much pain does there have to be? How much non-change does there have to be in order for you to work 40 hours a week, whatever it is, day after day, year after year at a job you hate? When's enough for that? So why not make changes? So if you're enjoying, to your point, if you're enjoying what you're doing, it's not about enough that you're going to get to this point where you're just like, oh, I've made it, I've done it, it's over. If you're enjoying what you're doing, I don't think it's about an enough number or an enough, whether there's more to it. I think you need to be crystal clear on what you want your life to look like, and then make sure you're living that accordingly. If that's working a job, hopefully that you enjoy, and that's enough, that's the thing that gets you going and excited, then by all means. I'm not here to convince everyone to be a real estate investor. I just know a lot of people want a different life than what they have now. And real estate has allowed that for all of us, and a lot of our elite members and a lot of other people see real estate as that pathway to have the freedom that they could have in their life. And so it's more about making that mental shift of, here's what my life is today. And do I believe real estate can put me on a path to being where I actually want to get? But being clear on what you want your life to look like, I think that's the most important part.
Well, I think that's important. I have a lot of times people are asking me like strategy. What asset class should I invest in? Should I syndicate? Should I do this? Like, what are the tactics? And almost always my answer is start with the end in mind, not a net worth goal, not a cash flow goal, but like to Gabe's point, what do you want your life to look like? What do you want your life to look like when you get up in the morning? What do you want your relationships to look like? What do you want your health to look like? Like, what do you want your vacations to look like? What do you everything? And then get very clear on that, and then figure out what vehicle is going to get you there. But also don't sacrifice yourself in the meantime. And I think that's what a lot of people do. They sacrifice today for tomorrow, and the old adage is, tomorrow may never come. So there's a blend of like enjoying the journey and enjoying the building, but also being clear on like what my life looks like, because that's going to help dictate your strategy.
Well, but also, define your own success. Success in the U.S. is often defined by the number of dollars, or, in your bank account, right? And so, or your net worth, or whatever that might be, cash flow, whatever. But I think you got to define your own success and truly be honest with that. My success in the beginning was I wanted to go be a certain thing. I got that certain thing, and I realized it gave me a life that I didn't want. So I had to like, my late 20s, early 30s, I had to redefine what's successful to me. Today, now, in my mind, success happens every single day. It's not like I'm successful, therefore I can just sit around. It's like I need to touch those things, right? My relationships, my health, my wealth, my spirituality in some form. Like it's a daily exercise. And for me, as long as I'm in that, then enough's never enough. Enough is when I die. That's when enough is, of being successful, of trying to chase like fulfillment in those areas. So I don't see, I think setting it as a number is too simple, and it's also a bit ignorant because you're missing so much. You're saying that, I'm not saying you guys are saying, I'm just saying that concept is saying, oh, once I get to $10 million net worth or this much cash flow, then like everything's gonna be great. I'm done.
And it's not.
I don't really think that's the case.
There's more problems. There's more challenges.
Like life goes on.
You've got more problems to solve. Well, that's what, I love our own baby, our book, but that's what I love about our book. It starts with, what is it like to own 100 units? What is it like to have enough cash flow to replace your day job? We get pretty granular about our lives. We wrote that about 5 years ago or so now. So, things change. However, we get very granular about time freedom, and what does time freedom actually mean? And then from there, that's going to help people frame up what their strategy is. Is it single family houses? Are you going to do some flips to then go as an LP on deals? Are you going to start a syndication company? How big are you going to grow? But it always needs to start with like lifestyle design in my mind, which is really cool about Vivid Vision, which is another book we recommend in our Elite Mastermind. We tell people to start with that. Like, what do you do? Create a vivid vision on your life. Like, what does that look like? What does your ideal life look like?